function. Okay, and you can extract only the day by specifying year. So instead of this, you can go with a month also. Okay, let me just see if we are going to get month. Okay, so you can just see accordingly the statement has been changed. So you can access individually the month and date, even year also. Okay, using date function. So here I was just done with the if else part. Then you can go with more number of conditions can be added here using if else ladder. Okay, and also switch. I think I have not yet done this. Let me just execute this. Okay, here I've added extra things. Let me comment all this. Not commenting. Static option I have given here x is equal to 1. Accordingly, the specified case will get executed. Okay. So now you can advance this program by adding the required logic in the cases. I'm just showing the basic thing. Okay, go back. So you can just see the output according to this case. I'm getting number 1. That is the statement I've given in case 1. So you can, instead of this, you can just get the data from the user. Okay. In that case, you have to add the form element and you have to specify. You have to read the input from the user. Okay, you have to create one text box, one button. Okay, when you click on that, it has to execute the form. Let's see. Okay, so according to the input, whichever the condition is going to match, accordingly it will execute the case. If I give something other than anything, okay, it should go to the default case. Okay, so no number between 1 and 3. Okay, so that was the error message I have given in the default case. So this is how you can go further. So let me just quickly go to the basics. Okay, we'll go to the functions later. Before that, so here I have not talked about the math functions. Okay, if you want to find a square root of number or what is some round, how you can round the number, all those things. I'll touch upon those some of the functions, mathematical functions. Then I'll go to the next part. So then we have important topic today, that is arrays. We are going to cover the array part in this class. Okay. So in between, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. So as of now, let me just go with a new program. Somebody is unmuted. Mute yourself. Okay, so now we'll try to execute. I'll show you how we can make use of some of the math functions. So go with directly with the PHP part. So I'll just invoke all the functions in the echo statement so that I can see them. output of that. Okay. So absolute, okay, whatever the number you give, so that will be converted into absolute value using ABS. So if I give minus 100, the output should be okay. So I will not close the tag. So every time you should not forget to close the PHP tag now. So close it. It's the end of PHP code. Okay, so I am getting absolute of any number, whatever the number you give, so it will be converted into absolute number. Similarly, you can just check with all other mathematical functions. So echo power, find out power of two numbers. Okay, so you can use proper breaks in between. Okay, so that is the power how you can calculate. Similarly, you can go with the square root. So almost similar to some other language, whatever you use, SQRT. Okay, so that is how you can make use of functions. You can just use loop statement to create cube of set of numbers. Okay, if I give condition read from the user input, so whatever the user is going to give, how many number of cube roots of number to be printed, then you have to read that value from the keyboard. Okay, I mean from the user, and the same thing should be put as a condition in the looping statement. Then if you want to know what is the max of two numbers, okay, max of 2 comma 10. Okay, so out of 2 comma 10, the maximum number is 2. Similarly, instead of max, you can go for min, where it will find the. So you should be knowing all these things when you are writing your own program. Wherever it is necessary, you can invoke these functions and perform the required operation. So my output should be 1. Okay, so I'm getting 1. Okay, similarly, you can use round off. You can just explore yourself now. What are the other functions that is supported? So if you want to round off the number, okay. So 3.2 is rounded to 3. Okay, it is not 13 actually, it is 3 because I have not used the break. Okay. Similarly, in case if you want to round up to the higher number, okay, I think you are already used all these functions. So round, sorry, it is echo first, echo. Then you can 3 comma 3.3. Okay, so you are now rounding off to this number to upper number. Okay, that is higher number. Instead of making 3, if you want to make it round off to higher number, okay, round to the upper number, in that case you have to go for the seal. So in that case now the output should be 4. Okay, so you are getting 4. Similarly, in case if you want to round off to the lower number, so then you have to use floor. I don't know you are used or not in all other languages also it supports these functions. So floor means it is going to round off to the lower number. So even though it is 3.9, okay, if you go for round off it should be changed to 4 actually. So because here I am using floor, it is going to round to the lower number. Okay, you can just say the 3. Okay, so like this you can just make use of all math, the simple mathematical operations you can invoke. So next we'll move on to like how to read the data that is submitted by the user, okay, and how to display on the browser. So consider I want to read the data that is submitted by the user, how to read that data, and also after reading I want to display on the browser. So let me just quickly create one form in case if I have already form. Okay, let me just quickly type the program. I will save. So you don't know where you have to save. It should be in HTTP docs. Here I've created PHP example and how to get the input from the user. Okay, using PHP code. Who are already familiar to the PHP, maybe these are the things you already know. Okay, so now in the body create the form. So only in the I think chapter module 2 we have discussed about this form elements. So now when you are working with the real-time applications, it is must. Okay, all the applications should have this form. So what are the attributes? So here there are 2 attributes. So what is the meaning of action here? So action indicates when the user submit this form, so where the data should be submitted. Okay, so here I'll just use some name. Okay, it should be this is a PHP program. To that it is going to submit the form details. So after that we have one more method. That is the method is the attribute. For that you can specify 2 possible values, either get method or post method. Okay, so what is the difference between these 2 methods? We have already discussed. So today I will show some of the difference between those 2 methods. So I'll add some form elements. So name, and name I will give name only. Then I'll go to the input type, that is submit button. Since I don't want this name attribute as of now. So this is my form and I'll just close the form. I'll try to add the PHP code here. So in PHP code what I'm going to write is I am trying to access these elements. Okay, I'll try to access whatever the user is entered. I will try to print using PHP part. So here this name. So I'll try to echo on the browser. So when you are echoing here, you're going to use one function called dollar underscore. Talk about this function in detail. This is mainly to get the details so that user is entered from the form or the input element. Okay. So now which element I want to try to access in the PHP code is name. You need to give the name of the element you are accessing. Okay. So here I have given for name, that is name only. Just specify that in the code name. Just okay. So that's all I want to print. Okay. We'll add complexity to this later. So go to browser, my directory, refresh. So get input.php. Okay, so there is some error, line number 13. Line number 13. Why? What is the error? Undefined array key. It's actually warning. Let me see, is it possible to print? Okay. 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 So I got it. The name, whatever I have given here, it should be the same one. So just keep observing. If I do any mistake, you can tell. Last time I made a simple mistake, but nobody was observed that also. Actually, we can access this. Why I'm getting error? This should be square bracket. Let me just check the sentence. Okay, so this program I have created. So this is the statement I have used. It I have not closed the tab. This tab is closed. So it is telling undefined array key name. What here I have given name. Okay, spelling mistake. So here there is a spelling mistake, maybe because of that. So let's see now. So now it is telling line number 14. It is telling line number 14. Okay. It's correct now. Can you identify what is the mistake? Okay, get variable is used to collect the values from a form with a get method. Okay. So your $get variable. So $get variable is an array of variable names and values sent by the HTTP get method. Okay. So you can use this variable name only when you are using form method as get. Okay. In case if you are using post, then you have to use post here. So $get variable is used to collect values from the form with method get. Information sent from the form with the get method is visible to everyone. Okay, so that we have already discussed, and also there is some limitation with the get method. But here, I am not able to print. Okay, the same thing I have written. Can somebody quickly identify what is a mistake? See, check this. Okay, just give me a minute. I'm just checking what is it. Okay, so there was a mistake in the file name. Okay, whatever the PHP file name, when I submit this data, okay, so let me just change back to my code. Here is missing in the file name. Okay, so whatever the PHP file name you have given, so you have to specify the same thing here. When I submit this data, where this data should go? Okay, it should be go to PHP file, and it should run that PHP file. So PHP code, what it contains? So it contains this information. So let me just quickly do this. See, you when you are executing, if you are getting any errors, try to clear it. Okay, that is the way you are going to learn. So now I'll enter something. Okay, so this is how I am getting the data. At the same time, you can just observe the browser also. Okay, it is not increasing the font size. URL. You can just observe the URL. You can see the whatever the value of passed. Okay, even you can directly change from the URL. Whatever you want to print, you can directly change from here. Okay, when you click on this, should come actually here. Okay, you can just say you can modify the data directly from the URL also. The parameter can be modified directly from the URL. So it's not required to go take the input from the user. That is also okay. Sometimes we have an option that you can access the URL parameters. What I'm telling. Okay, you can see at the same time whatever the value I changed here, immediately it reflects here. Okay, that means I can access the elements directly from the URL. So that is using just a simple program that shows how you can access the elements. So what is the important thing is your whatever the file name you are given, the same thing you need to specify. Okay, .php extension and method here I am using get. You know what is the features of get method. Okay, whatever the data you submit, everything it is you can see in the URL. Okay, the form of query string. Okay, that's all. I have on the input button and submit and just give the proper name. And in the PHP code, I'm just trying to access this element using $get. So using $get, I can access the form elements. Okay, and display on the browser. So if you want to add one more, or you can just change this program to make it a calculator also. Okay, just simple calculator using PHP code. I'll just take one more input here. So indicating num1. Are you people are understanding? Did you got what is the mistake I have done? See, if you observe carefully, you can identify the mistakes when I'm typing. So just try to follow and note down and execute all these programs. So now what I'll do is I'll just go for implementing one basic calculator. Okay. So here I'll just take one more input box. Okay. So instead of name here, I'll give num1 or number 1. And I'll take your so you can give the name, different name, unique name you should give because you are going to trying to access these two numbers. Okay, so and submit button. So now what is the thing I need to want to do is I want to perform addition of these two numbers, addition or subtraction, whatever you want to do, you can just do. So here in PHP, if you want, you can just give your result. And here I'll change this to num1. I am trying to access the first number. Okay, so that is added with first number is added with dollar. Once again, access this second number using dollar underscore get. So you have to use capital letter only. And what is the name of the second element? It is num2. Okay, so that's all. You just save it and go to browser back, refresh. Okay, so some getting warning. Actually, result also coming, but let me clear this here. One is in between line 14. Allocating so not defined. Run, give some input here, then okay. So I'm just getting the output. Those are just warning messages. Just ignore. We'll see why I'm getting those warnings later. Okay. So you are getting the result here. You are trying to read the input from the user. Okay, and you are writing code to add these two elements. Okay. So that result you are getting. So if you want any other operation, you can add the further statement for subtraction also. Okay, or you can I may just changing this. Okay, just change the operator here. Okay, minus 10. So some error, let me just check later. Okay, minus 10. Even you can just change the values directly from the URL and you can print that value on the browser using PHP. So let me change this to 30 and submit. Okay, so you are getting, where is the result? So this was the first time. Okay, you can just see, yeah, I'm getting minus. I have changed 20 to 30. So directly you can see the result of that. That means you can access the parameters that are passed through URL when you specified as a get method. Okay, so that is how you can implement the calculator also. You can just implement yourself the calculator using, you can add all switch cases depending on the operation. Okay, so you can add your submit button for clicking the particular operator. For each function you can just add the buttons and you can design a one simple calculator using PHP. Okay, you can do that part. Okay, so let me quickly go to the topic where we have left in the last class. So I was started with the, I think looping statement and all you can execute by yourself. Okay, so I'll be just quickly run this part. This is for loop, so I don't want to repeat the same thing. You can understand by yourself how for loop works. So when you are writing any code, so depending on your logic, depending on the problem, you just accordingly use and specify the conditions. Okay, so here I am just trying to print hello world for 5 times using for loop. Can you see? So your tag is not properly closed. Okay, so that is how you can use the for loop. The only thing is, the important observation is, whenever if you are using any variables, that the variable should start with a dollar symbol. That's all. Then we have for each statement, so that is used to loop through arrays. Okay, so first we need to understand the array, but later once you learn the arrays, you can use this for each. Okay, so for every loop, the value of the current element is assigned to dollar value. So based on the dollar value, so the statement is going to be this for loop, it is going to execute. Okay, and whatever the code it is there, as long as the condition is true, so it is going to execute the code that is present in the for loop, that is for each. Okay, that is how many elements are there. Here you are not going to specify any conditions. Okay, so I am not just doing this because I have not yet taught the array, but it's very simple to understand. So here there is an array. I have declared array using a function name array, and I am specifying the elements. Okay, if it is string, use double quotes, that is common thing, and if it is a number, directly you can specify. Now for each, okay, for each dollar array as dollar value. Okay, so as long as how many elements are there in this array, so try to access the value. Okay, and try to display those values using echo statement. When you are executing, try to execute by yourself. So I need to put this in the within the PHP tag. Okay, so value 1, 2, 3. So that is the array elements. and just have a look into this, how it is done. This is the declaration of array. Declaration plus initialization. Okay, where you are initialized with 3 elements. So next, after this, I will be explaining how to manipulate this array. What are the functions can be used, like how I explained in JavaScript, similar to that. What are the functions it supports? So here now, why I have gone to array means, so this is to explain how for each it works. In array, you can directly add elements by specifying the name under the index. Okay. If you want to add, you can just observe your dollar array of, you can just specify some index as equal to, now your array should be get updated and I should be able to display even this value. Okay, can you see? It's so easy to work with arrays, and that is, arrays are commonly used in PHP. Okay, so we'll just explore on arrays, different types, all those things. Okay, for is done. Similarly, you can go with a while and do while. Okay, there is no much change. Whatever your written for loop condition, you can just change to do while. Okay, so let me start with the arrays. What are the different types of arrays and how to work with the arrays? Okay, so here the basic information about array everybody knows. Okay, so why we need arrays? To store a single variable name. Here you can access and manipulate by with respect to single element. It does not require to any complex thing. Easily you can add element to the array, and you can delete the element from the array. So what are the different types of arrays are supported in PHP? So one is numeric array. So whatever the example I have given here, it is one a simple example for numeric array. Then we have associative array. Okay, so in case of associative array, an array where each ID is associated with value. That means key value pairs. Okay, then we have multi-dimensional array. So let me just quickly go to the associative array. Just I'll take 3 to 4 minutes, then we'll end the session. So multi-dimensional array, you can just try by yourself how to create that. So this is a simple array. Okay, so that is the first one, numeric array. So that is how you can create the numeric array. So names, that is, this is one way. Okay, so directly you are going to specify in declaration and initialization is done at a time. So if you want to do initialization separately, you can just specify the index number followed by the ID. Okay, or the what is the value you want to store in that particular index value. Okay, the same thing I have done. Okay, so this is an example of numeric array. So how multi-dimensional, no, before that associative array, how associative array works. An associative array, each key, each ID key is associated with a value. That means you will be having key, okay, and also there is a value assigned to it. So if that is the case, how to create this and how to access the elements. Okay, so this is how you can create the array using associative. Okay, so using associative array, where you are going to specify the key, okay, within the double quotes equal to greater than symbol 32. Okay, then similarly for the second element and third element. So this is key and this is a value. When you are trying to access, if you want to access, you need to specify this key value and you will be able to access the value easily. Okay, when you specify the key name, so you can get the value. So let me just go to the PHP part. Okay, so this is another way. This is another way of initializing the array with a key value. or directly you can go with this, and this is a commonly used, okay, because it will take a lot of time. If the data is large, it will take a lot of time. Okay, you can just observe how you want to access this value. Okay, if it is student and grade, okay, if you specify student name here, automatically I should be able to access the grade. Okay, dollar student grade, if I specify, I mean student name, if I specify, I should be able to get the corresponding grade assigned to the student. Okay, so can you do that program by yourself? So here it is name and age is there. So I want you people to write, okay, write a program. You should able to uh, create an array containing student name followed by the grade. Okay, in PHP you try to access this to by giving specifying the student name, and you should able to access the grade assigned to that student.